Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Exhumed movie review. Today we are talking about The Innocents. Really quick though, before I get into anything, I want to say thank you to my creepy patron peeps for supporting my channel. Thank you so much. If you want to find out the perks of being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. So directed by Jack Clayton and starring Deborah Kerr, Martin Stevens, and Pamela Franklin, The Innocents follows a governess who is hired to look after two orphan children so their uncle doesn't have to. Soon after her arrival, though, the governess comes to believe the children are possessed with the spirits of the former governess and the valet, who both tragically died on the estate. So the screenplay for The Innocents is based on a stage play, is based on a novella by Henry James called The Turn of the Screw. The novella was first published in 1898 and follows a governess who comes to believe the estate she works at is haunted. For once, we have a very loyal book to film adaptation. That being said though, let's get into what I liked about The Innocents. I love a good gothic ghost story. Seriously, like, they are so good. This movie was no different. So I loved the costumes, I loved the sets, I loved all the stuff. I love a good gothic story. Yes, just take me there, take me to that era. The children were creepy, obviously, so, you know, I loved that. There's nothing better than creepy children, right? And the boy, he was a boy back then, that plays Miles, one of the creepy children, Martin Stevens, also plays the creepy kid in Village of the Damned, like the main creepy kid, the head creepy kid, which I reviewed previously, which you can watch up here. I mean, he's got a lot of practice playing creepy children. Both kids played their parts really well, I gotta say, especially given that there was a lot of adult material that they had to do, I feel like, or things they had to say, and they played it really well, especially that kiss between Miles and Miss Giddings. Like, bleh. It is an important clue to what is actually going on though, once you know that, spoiler alert, Miles is possessed by a gross old man who is the dead valet. I also like that the movie utilizes the dark and the audience's fear of what lurks within the dark. There are a lot of instances where the areas just off screen or kind of like just out of the corner of your eye are kept dark, and it kind of draws your eye there, even though the action is happening in the middle of the frame. It kind of draws your eye all over because you're just like looking in all of the shadows and all of the dark corners because you're expecting a ghost to be lurking in there. And that's what I love about this type of horror. I love a good paranormal story, and I love a good gothic horror story, and when those two come together, which they often do, I feel like a lot of gothic horror stories have to do with ghosts and hauntings and things like that. It's just, it's a perfect combination. And apparently this was done on purpose by cinematographer Freddie Francis. Sorry, I was looking down, I just didn't want to get that name wrong. Who purposefully darkened the edges of the screen to kind of create that effect, which I found really interesting. I also loved the ghost of the dead governess. That sounds weird. Hear me out for a second though. She looked very Woman in Black-esque. Not up close, mind you, because you don't ever really see her that much up close. For the most part, she's just like this creepy figure in black, like seen at a distance. Like Deborah Kerr's character sees her like across the pond and she's just standing there, like, you know, so it's just the silhouette of her, and it reminds me of The Woman in Black. Obviously this movie came along before that, so it was more like The Woman in Black was probably based on that, but or inspired by that. But oh, it was just like, and that's all she does. She just stands there across the lake, and it's frightening. It's a frightening image, and it's because it's so like unsettling and creepy, and that's what I love about gothic horror so much. They, like, you know, it's just the simplest concept, and it's just oftentimes the creepiest and scariest one, and I love that about the movie. Really quick though, we'll get into what I didn't like about the movie, and it was mostly just the ending. I feel like the ending was kind of anticlimactic, or maybe it was just that I didn't understand it very well. I wasn't totally sold on this idea that all Miles had to do was say the name of the dead valet who was possessing him to kind of exorcise the ghost from him. I don't know if that's what was actually happening, but she kept just like making Miles like, say his name. And I was just like, why? Also, did Miles die at the end? I need to know. Somebody please tell me, does he die? Was the innocence worth it? Yes. I thought it was so good, especially if you like gothicness and ghosts and hauntings and things like that. You're definitely gonna love this movie. Highly recommend. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 7.9 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 96% critic score and an 86% audience score. And on Letterboxd, it also has a 4 out of 5. I watched this movie on YouTube again. You know, one where somebody had uploaded it. I didn't pay to watch it. I couldn't find it anywhere where I could rent it. So I will leave a link to that video in the description. Obviously, that's not an affiliate link, it's just there. It also does have Spanish subtitles on it, but I was okay with that. I just didn't pay attention to them. Anyways though, if you've seen The Innocents, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. Always, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday. You can ring that notification bell down there as well to be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!